Hello, everyone, and welcome. We will be getting started in just a moment. Please be on mute while the graduation is in progress to avoid any background noise. We thank you for your cooperation. We would love to have your cameras on if you feel comfortable with it, so we can have video interaction with you all. A heads up that we are recording the graduation. Hello, everyone. Welcome to graduation. We're so glad you joined us. Now to get started, a message from the creator of Norm Therapy and our co-founder, Michael Gibson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Gibson, and I am the co-founder of Abuse Refuge Org, affectionately known as ARROW. I'm also the creator of Norm Therapy. Norm Therapy is our revolutionary process where we take victims and survivors of abuse through a very interesting course where they learn a lot about themselves, their truths, their lies, and take on a different understanding and approach to therapy. So at the point when they are in need of a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a social worker, a caseworker, what have you, police, that they'll be better equipped to speak to their malady or their abuse. This is what we do. We don't offer any cures. That's not what I don't think anyone in the mental health or the abuse care community would actually do. But what we will offer you is a slimmer of hope that you'll find yourself and find a path that's sufficient for your growth forward. ARROW Strong, I'm Michael Gibson. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name
And we'll continue with a message from our Global Executive Director and co-founder, Kelly Dean.
Hi there, my name is Kelly Dean, and I'm the Global Executive Director and co-founder of Abuse Refuge Org, or affectionately known as ARROW. Today, I'd like to share with you how Norm Therapy not only changed my life, but it saved my life. So a few years ago, I found myself in a really dark place. I had tried everything up until that point, to include 10 years of counseling. And along came Norm Therapy. I was actually the first person to ever go through Norm Therapy, and I learned a whole lot. I learned that I was a pathological liar, and I learned that I had been a victim of abuse in 10 areas, which we now focus on. So, Michael Gibson is our other co-founder and creator of Norm Therapy, and you will learn a whole lot more about it and all that we're doing. So I hope that Norm Therapy is something that you're able to participate in, get involved with, and maybe, just maybe, it will change and save your life the way that it did for me.
Again, hello everyone, and welcome to Abuse Refuge Org, affectionately known as ARROW's second graduating class of Norm Therapy Intake Specialists, March 2022. I'm Valerie Williams, and I'm your host today for Norm Therapy Trademarked Intake Specialist graduation. My experience at ARROW has been rewarding and productive, as I've been instrumental in helping with fundraising and idea generation for ARROW Pride, which supports the LGBTQ+ community and is dedicated to LGBTQ+ victims or survivors of abuse. Norm Therapy is an innovative abuse management interviewing process whereby the Norm Therapy Intake Specialist will interview an eclectic array of victims or survivors from around the world. Further, examining their life narratives and assisting the victim or survivor in discerning the veracity or the hyperbole surrounding their own experiences and chronology of their pathology. This is no easy task. Not only have we developed Norm Therapy for North America, moreover, we're developing Norm Therapy for different regions of the world, as well as for children and corporations. Today, the manager of Norm Therapy, Eileen Shea, will be providing an overview and background about the program. The creator of Norm Therapy and co-founder of Abuse Refuge Org, Michael Gibson, will be sharing his message as our keynote speaker. Then on to the best part, graduation. Before we end our time together, we will be giving all those who are interested in learning more about our program an opportunity to stick around for some Q&A. Here is Eileen Shea to provide some background on norm therapy.
Thank you, Valerie. As a nurse practitioner in my previous life, I understand the correlation of our mission at Arrow to train a cadre of intake specialists who would be the vanguard and serve as process interviewers for victims or survivors of abuse. We are not counselors, clinicians, doctors, or licensed therapists, which grants us a unique opportunity. We are the next best thing when you need someone to really listen and help you discern your critical moments. It is more personalized than traditional therapies, and we are able to self-disclose to our victims or survivors' experiences and life knowledge, and further connect with what they've been through. Not all interviews will possess every element of this structure. However, our platform gives us the most comprehensive approach towards finding clarity, providing assessment, and arriving at the truth. It is important to note that norm therapy is sort of like a pre-therapy, preparing a victim or survivor for therapy with clinicians, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and many other entities within the abuse care community. A great deal of hard work, sacrifice, and learned experience has gone into norm therapy. Michael Gibson, Arrow's co-founder and creator of norm therapy, spent the last 25 years or more developing this concept. He found himself in a myriad of situations around the world where people would consistently seek his wisdom or advice. You know how when you have a friend you can just talk to? Michael Gibson was literally that friend on an exponential basis to many. What Michael Gibson believes is simple. Most people who suffer from abuse have somehow conditioned themselves to endure the abuse over time. We oftentimes give the example that if a man were to go home from work, greet his wife, and then simply slap her face, that reaction to having been slapped, if she does nothing about it, will become normalized. And after a year or even a few months of arriving at home, then slapping his wife would then become normalized behavior and acceptance of that behavior. Perhaps even in the future, the wife would simply put her cheek out to her husband to slap, thinking that maybe he had forgotten that day. On this premise, norm therapy was born. If somehow a victim or survivor is convinced through trauma, psychological or physical, and have normalized the pain and destruction, Michael saw that there was an opportunity to help people find clarity about their abuses. He firmly believes that people plot their own destinies through a series of decisions. The more decisions you make, the better you'll become at making decisions. He also believes that people will only ever do to you what you allow them to do, or what they think they can get away with. Our NTIS job is first and foremost to find clarity in a victim or survivor's chronology of their pathologies. We are not here to cure anyone. However, we are here to help them find the truth and take that truth into therapy if needed. Kelly Dean, our other co-founder of Arrow, was actually the first person to have ever gone successfully through norm therapy. She may not be perfect, but Kelly is a far cry from where she used to be, realizing that norm therapy probably saved her life. In many walks of life, a wide swath of our global population experience abuse every single day from one kind to another. Kelly experienced at least 10 different abuses, both chronic and acute, over the course of her life, to include narcissism, sexual, physical, psychological, financial, child, self, cyberbullying, bullying, and spousal abuse. It was quite debilitating for her as she journeyed through her pain. The entire Arrow organization was envisioned and created based on Kelly's abuses endured, and this is only the beginning. In the future, Arrow will be adding elderly, alcohol, substance, institutional, and prison abuses upon receiving certifications for the appropriate abuse care licensures. Thank you, everyone. I will turn it back to Valerie.
I would now like to turn over the microphone to our keynote speaker, co-founder of Arrow and creator of norm therapy, Michael Gibson.
Hello, everyone. I am Michael Gibson. For those of you who I have not had a chance to meet, I welcome you all to our second Norm Therapy Intake Specialist graduation. This is a monumental day for us. I want to first thank our NTIS, or our Norm Therapy Intake Specialist pioneers, those were the originals to go through, and our Norm Therapy Intake Specialists for their sacrifice, their consistent input, and their stellar ability to not only grasp our trademarked norm therapy process, rather, they have broken new ground in its applications. By design, norm therapy is not easy. It's not meant to be. An intake specialist's job is not to become the victim's or survivor's friend on any level. However, being friendly, affable, mature, courageous, and a good listener, and many other traits that we look for in a norm therapy intake specialist's personality and character are of course vital towards achieving the highest results in norm therapy. We need mature individuals to stand in our stead. Many people who've participated in norm therapy, either as an intake specialist or a victim survivor, have consistently stated that they've never seen or heard anything like norm therapy. It has been referred to as the missing link. The norm therapy intake specialist's entire universe revolves around the personality and the narratives of the victims and survivors. Our process is not ego-driven, rather, it's recognition-driven based on the narratives and the abuses presented. If you would like to know more about norm therapy, please visit our website at goarrow.org for more information. And thank you all for coming to our graduation today. And now I will turn the mic back over to Valerie. Congratulations, class. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It's time for the main event. We will have Josie Nelson, Norm Therapy Senior Supervisor, present the honor graduate for March 2022.
Thank you, Valerie. For the class of Norm Therapy Intake Specialist March 2022, the honor graduate for their course is Nicole Leonard. Nicole has been volunteering with Arrow for over a year, what an accomplishment, and is also serving as HR manager, hiring manager, a position that has greatly benefited her norm therapy interviewing skills and confidence. Throughout training, Nicole has demonstrated her commitment to learning the unique techniques involved with norm therapy and applies them in effortless ways. Her compassionate and warm personality instantly invites interviewees and even other candidates to open up and share their stories. From the beginning role plays to the last NTI interview, we have all seen her personal and professional confidence grow, and I've seen her step into a leadership role. Nicole's time management skills is a statement to us all on being able to set priorities for outside work, Arrow commitments, and now even norm therapy. We are thankful for Nicole being a part of our team and so look forward to her increased growth as she continues on her path of success in norm therapy department. Congratulations, Nicole. You definitely deserve this recognition. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Josie. Absolutely. So my first experience with norm therapy started back last fall as an interviewee. And as someone who's gone through standard counseling in the past and also conducted counseling sessions myself, participating in norm therapy is really nothing like anything I've experienced before. I wasn't quite sure what to expect going in and was very surprised to get more out of it than I had anticipated. Going through this training over the last few weeks has been very eye-opening to me, and I've certainly learned a lot that I'll not only use in norm therapy, but also in interacting with people in my everyday life too. I've learned to interpret unconscious actions and patterns in people's behavior that I've continued to look out for in my daily life. When I first joined Arrow a year ago, I was immediately excited by the idea of norm therapy, and it sounded like something so foreign and exciting that I wanted to get involved with from the start. It's been the most incredible experience watching the norm therapy department grow into what it is today. And I'm so honored to be a graduate of the second ever norm therapy cohort. Arrow has come to mean so much to me over my time here, giving me many opportunities to grow and learn in ways that I had never imagined. And becoming an NTIS feels like the next step in a long journey that I am extremely proud and excited to be a part of. So thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. I will now be announcing the NTIS graduates. If you would kindly mute until applause, it would be appreciated. Our next NTIS graduate is Lauren Jocks. Lauren, would you like to say a few words about your experience as a norm therapy intake specialist?
Absolutely. Thank you, Valerie. Norm therapy training has been a difficult but rewarding process for me. It has been completely out of my comfort zone, going further and further each day, but it has been worth it. What we are doing here with finding the truth behind a person's abusive circumstances is so incredibly important. There are so many people in this world who are hurting and who are in need. We can't fix their problems, but we can show them tools that can help. I'm very grateful to have been able to learn with this amazing group of people, and I look forward to continuing to grow and work with them. I have to give a huge thank you to Kim Carpenter, who was my mentor throughout this process. After each session, she sent me a message with words of encouragement. When I was worried that I was doing everything wrong, she gave me confidence and helped me see that I was capable. She was always incredibly caring and helpful, and I don't know how I would have made it through without her. Thank you to Eileen and Josie, who were excellent teachers, along with the rest of the pioneers. They made the information interesting and accessible, and they made sure we all truly knew and understood it. Thank you to Kelly and Michael, who made this all possible. Thank you for accepting me, helping me grow, and caring for me. From when I first started norm therapy with the two of you last October, I have grown and learned so much from you. That wouldn't have happened if you didn't take the time to reach out to me and take me under your wings. Thank you so much for that and for everything you do.
Thank you, Lauren. Our next NTIS graduate, Sheena Thompson. Sheena, please share your experience as a norm therapy intake specialist.
Thank you. My decision to become a part of Arrow is one of the best decisions I have ever made. I have evolved enormously over the last 3 months. I have learned so much, both personally and professionally. The process of norm therapy is truly enlightening and life-changing. Because of norm therapy, I am learning more about how important it is to gain clarity to be able to truly show up as the best version of ourselves, despite life circumstances. The knowledge I gained from the norm therapy training is multidimensional. This experience can be applied to any aspect of life. I want to say an extra special thank you to my partner, Joseph, for being the biggest cheerleader on this journey. To 3 of my favorite people, Shelly, Sasha, and Monique, I am beyond grateful for the encouragement and the support. To all of my loved ones and Arrow family, thank you all so much.
Thank you, Sheena. Our next NTIS graduate, Whitney German. Whitney, would you like to share a few words about your experience?
Yes, I would. So as part of the second NTIS class, I had the opportunity to learn more about norm therapy firsthand, and let me tell you, it is such a rewarding experience. I initially wanted to attend the norm therapy class because the testimonies given by the first cohort made me really interested in learning more about norm therapy. But I never really considered it as a potential career path. It's kind of funny because I've always loved psychology, but I decided not to study it because I had no desire to be a therapist or work in that field. So I was very surprised when I realized just how much I absolutely enjoyed getting to do my interviews. And I just love getting to help people in such a personal way. I actually learned so much, not just about norm therapy, but about myself in this process. So if you're even slightly interested in learning about norm therapy, even if you think it's not something you're interested in pursuing, I encourage you to apply because you could find yourself. Norm therapy is all about helping people uncover the truth, and it's so nice being able to help people in such a meaningful way. My experience with norm therapy was difficult, but I enjoyed every moment of it. From being blessed with the best mentor ever, Kelly, to our wonderful instructors, Eileen, Kim, Josie, and Zainab, to all the pioneers who were there to help guide us, to all the friends I made in my cohort, to all the wonderful volunteers that took time out of their days to help me practice, to all of you, I say thank you. I didn't know what to expect going into this, but all of you have made me very thankful and happy I decided to join this norm therapy cohort. Finally, I would like to thank Michael for your hard work creating norm therapy. This program is absolutely revolutionary, and I can't wait to see all the good it will do to the mental health field and abuse care community in the future.
Thank you, Whitney. How about a heartfelt applause for all of our NTIS graduates of March 22? Please unmute and show some love.
Yay.
Yay, congratulations.
Good job, everyone.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, and please resume to mute. Thank you to the norm therapy intake specialists for your dedication and commitment to the mission of Arrow. Thank you to all the norm therapy interviewees for your participation in our second cohort program. We could not have done it without all of you. Thank you to our pioneers for your continued passion for the success of norm therapy and the visions of where we can go in the future. Thank you again to the graphics department and Andy Sherman for designing the certificates and the beautiful wallpaper backgrounds we have displayed here today. And I want to share with everyone what a privilege and honor it has been for me to have hosted this graduation ceremony for the second time. If you're interested in learning more about norm therapy or Abuse Refuge Org, please check out our website at goarrow.org, GOARO.org. And please encourage volunteers, victims or survivors, professional clinicians, doctors, therapists, and social workers to do the same. Most importantly, don't forget to make a donation by clicking the donate button at the top of the main page of our website. This concludes the official graduation ceremony. However, if you want to stick around and talk to Michael Gibson, the creator of Norm Therapy, the Norm Therapy cadre, including Kelly Dean, the global executive and co-founder, Eileen Shea, the Norm Therapy manager, and our Norm Therapy cadre and intake specialists, we will be available to answer your questions about Norm Therapy, the abuse care community, and NTIS training. Thank you all again. Have a great rest of your day. Breathe life. Feel free to unmute and ask any questions.
Yay.